Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Will He Edit, the program that sees whether or not my dog Poachy is willing to eat the food I put down in front of him. Plus, we read a comic book. The comic book we're going to be reading today is The Incredible Hulk number 191. It was written by Len Wein with art by Herb Trimpe. It came out in 1975 and would have cost you 25 cents. In the Overstreet Guide from 2016, in mint condition, this book would cost you $18, and in the very poorest condition, it would cost you $2. Len Wein and Herb Trimpe are longtime industry vets who have since passed. Herb Trimpe, for what I know him for, is having done Incredible Hulk for a very long time, and also really, really bad Marvel art in the 90s. Len Wein, who worked for all sorts of companies, also created the Swamp Thing with Bernie Wrightson for DC. These guys together, working on the Hulk on issue number 181, also created a very, very famous character, the Wendigo. Another character that was created in that very same issue that you may have heard of was the Wolverine. He would later go on to be a very main character in the Uncanny X-Men. In fact, he started in Giant-Sized X-Men number 1, which was written by Len Wein with art by Dave Cockrum, who would kick off the series, or the new X-Men, in 94 and on. But today we're talking about the Incredible Hulk. And I've read a lot of Hulk in my lifetime, but not everything. In fact, a lot of these Herb Trimpe issues and Len Wein issues I didn't read that much of. I was more of during the Sal Buscema times, and definitely when Peter David wrote the book, I read just about every one of those. Also, when I was a very young kid, I would have my parents buy me the Marvel Digest books that would come out, and I read a lot of the very first Hulks when it was like 1 through 6 of the Kirby stuff, and then whatever Tales book Hulk would be in, they also reprinted those in them. I remember a lot of Gil Kane, and he did a really cool Abomination. Anyhow, that's my Hulk as far as like reading from the past is concerned. Obviously, I've read issues since then, but these were the ones I really cut my teeth on, and I'm excited to be looking at this book. Also, Poachy's excited to try some new food. He's been outside. He's done his morning business. We're going to set him up with some breakfast, and we'll see if he will eat it. So let's get on into the kitchen, and we're going to read a real cool book, too. All right, everybody, we're back in the kitchen. As you can see, I have a bowl full of his old food. And actually, I've been using a new dish. It sits higher. He's been eating well out of it, so I clean it every day. Ooh, look at that nice shine. Little water droplets. And today we're going to be eating Canidae's pet food made by pet people. And this is their dog food, fricassee style dinner with turkey. It has turkey broth, turkey liver, chicken liver, turkey, something like that. And I got him back on Bill Jack, which is the dog food he enjoys to eat as far as dry stuff. So we're going to get Poachy in the kitchen, and we'll see if he'll eat this brand new food that he's never tried before. All right, everybody, as you can see, Poachy's right there, making some water. This food, kind of like part pate, part chunks. I'm gonna put it right in here. See how it just sits on the top. And now Poachy can check out some food if you'd like. Come here, Poachy. Come here. There he is. All right, so we'll see if Poachy was willing to eat this food as we read Incredible Hulk number 191. Oh no, he's not looking like he cares. Anyhow, on the cover we see the Shaper of Worlds. And the first time I encountered the Shaper of Worlds was in that Batman Hulk DC Marvel Treasury size crossover. And what a weird villain, if you can call him so. Anyway, let's let's open up this book and check some stuff out. Alright, so upon opening, the reader is clued in on the Hulk's circumstance, whereas he had a piece of paradise on a small planetoid, and he and his companions were taken as slaves by the Toadmen, who, as you can see right here, we saw last in Hulk number 2, all the way back in 1960-something. What, 3 maybe? And we are introduced to King Torkon II. You're not going to eat, Poachy? Come here. Man, he is just not digging it right now. He's not having any of this. Typical Poach. We have had major successes when it comes to him eating, but this is how it actually is more often than not here at the house. So, going back to King Torkon, he says that the Toad people take slaves to power their stolen Kree technology, which is deep in the bowels of their planet. And of course, Torkon wants to know how Hulk created his pocket paradise, as he lets him in on the fact that he's going to be their greatest slave. And the Hulk threatens to smash the king, but he laughs it off, knowing that the magnetic shackles that the Hulk and his companions are in will hold. Oh, Poachy. I have a feeling that this food is going to get a bad grade. What you doing, Poachy? Come here. Just wants to stand. All right, well, let's get back to the comic book. Let's see. So, the king, it brings in front of Queen Frozia his soon-to-be slaves, and he says, kneel. And the queen's all, they're not kneeling. And of course, he forces them to by shoving them down. And Queen Frozia, she proclaims how cute the slaves are, and she really digs the Hulk and wants to keep him. And just as King is going to file a complaint, a report comes in alerting the king that the Hulk's paradise actually came from the Shaper of Worlds. And Torkon's like, oh my gosh, that is great. If he can give the Hulk everything he wants, look right here, they're going to use the Hulk to capture the Shaper so that the Toad people can get what they want. And Hulk's all, F you, I'm not going to be catching no slaves for you. And so then he just headbutts and breaks out of his chains. And then a fight ensues. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Here's some fighting going on. Oh yeah, here, this is classic. Check this out as Queen Frozia. She just totally bonks Hulk on the head with her scepter. That's some great stuff. And they keep fighting. And, and check this out. The king shoots Hulk right in the back. And the Hulk's like, oh, that doesn't do anything. But he is pissed. And it isn't until Jarella, and that's Jarella right there, she finally calms down and convinces Hulk to go along with the plan. Now, for those of you that don't know, Jarella was introduced way back in issue number 140. And that one was written by Harlan Ellison. Excuse me. The great Harlan Ellison. You can just ask him if you don't believe that. Anyway, Jarella has been near and dear to Hulk ever since her appearance. They have a little thing going on. So that's one of the reasons why she's able to calm him down. Poach, what the hell? You gonna eat? You gonna eat? There we go. Come on, buddy. Just do some food. You'd think a dog that just woke up and is hungry would eat some food, regardless of what it is. I mean, he's a freaking dog. What is that? What is that? Maybe he just doesn't want to perform today. Alright, so anyway, we see Hulk getting strapped down and put on a rocket, and he's sent off to the Paradise planetoid. And then you see him walking as he's landed, and he goes off, and he's strapped with this Skrull Neutron bomb, which he takes to go see the Shaper. And the Shaper's all, what do you want? Haven't I given you everything? And the Hulk tells the Shaper, I gotta bring you to the ugly toad people. And the Shaper, he's all no. That ain't gonna happen. And then he realized, oh my gosh, there's this bomb. And it explodes when it takes out the Shaper, and it takes out the Hulk, and the toads come on in, and they pick the bones, and they leave Hulk behind. And then the Hulk, who wakes up, sees this golden foot, and he claims that it's the Golden Man, who he knows as Glorian. And Glorian asks the Hulk, what's the deal with the Shaper? Where is he? And I'm not exactly sure what the relationship between Glorian and the Shaper are, but I don't know, they seem to have an affection for each other. Way more than Pochi does for this food. And if to further illustrate what their relationship may be like, Glorian and Hulk ride a rainbow all the way to the Toad planet. And they want to plead for their companions' releases. And the king, he takes offense, as his people are looked down on because they steal all technology. And oh yeah, check this out. He's great. So while he's talking about, everybody looks down on us because we steal all our technology and we never really provide anything to this universe. Look as he catches this fly. Just buzzing around his head, and he's all, suck that up. So that was pretty cool. But here we go. We got Glorian. He's still begging. He's like basically on his knees, it looks like. And he's all, come on, please. You got to do this. And the king shoots him in the back. And it's like twice now we've seen this dude shoot people in the back. So the Shaper freaks out, seeing his friend shot. And he loses control. And Jarella, and this guy right here, who you barely can tell, because we didn't really see a whole lot of them in the book, but let me see if I can get a good picture of that. So this guy, he is, and I shit you not, this guy's name is Crackerjack, and they dissolve, him and Jarella, they dissolve into these slug monsters, and Hulk is not down, and he hulks out. And on the next page we got here, we got this toad guy, this king. He's all, check this out. He's all, slay him! Your monarch commands it! And fat chance as Hulk starts tearing everything down when he is again, he is shot in the back. That's 3 times now. This dude, he steals technology, he enslaves people, and he shoots people in the back. And 3 times he's done that. But that's no biggie, because the Hulk seems like he's gonna off this fool. And check this out. So, here's Hulk. He's all, get up, ugly man, so Hulk can smash you down. And that's when the Shaper halts him. And the Shaper's all, we just need to leave here. He's all, I'll tell you what, I'm going to offer you paradise again. And he says here, for nothing is impossible for he who makes dreams live. And Hulk's all, nah, I don't want any of that fake shit. Of course, the Toad does, the king does, but again, Hulk is offered paradise, and Hulk's all, I don't want heaven that's not real. So the Shaper returns Hulk back to his reality, and then he leaves, and the Toad people are left behind. Their planet's destroyed by the Hulk. Their planet's machines that they've stolen start breaking down, and their planet just starts to drift away, past the stars to where it twinkles out as if it seemingly dies. Kind of like this food that Poachy didn't want to eat. Man, Poachy, not one bite. We'll come back to this one a little bit later, but I'm going to say it right now. Canidae. As of right now, Poach doesn't give two shits about your food. Pretty much how the Hulk and the Shaper feel about the Toad people. But I thought this was a pretty darn good book. It's got some pretty good art. Herb Trimpe was never my favorite, but there's a lot of good smashing. There's a lot of good, like I said, a lot of good smashing. There's a little, there's good morals in here. Don't shoot people in the back. Don't be a fucking jerk. Don't steal stuff all the time. As a little extra, I'm going to read this letter that was published in this comic book because I thought it was pretty funny. Here we go. Len. David, sorry. David, not like Len. Too predictable. Not realizing comics for medium they are. Would make good short story writer, but not comic writer. Tries to say too much with words. Forgets about pretty pictures. But Hulk, 189 good. Even lousy Mole Man used right. No one else would do. David's sorry to see Hulk lose friend, but had to happen. Hulk is only a monster. This Hulk story is a parable. Would like to see more, but not often. Too much would hurt image of Hulk. Now, if I can just switch out of this Hulk talk and back into English, I'll be able to read about another American hero, William Jennings Bryan, and prepare for the history test that's staring me over my shoulder. That's pretty funny. Also, the responses are in Hulk speak. Marvel is sorry David does not like Len. Marvel likes Len. Glynis likes Len. Even other puny readers like Len. But Marvel is glad David liked story. Marvel has only one question. Who is William Jennings Bryan? Tell Marvel, or Marvel will smash. Anyway, pretty fun. Pick up Hulk in the old days. Herb Trimpe, he's a classic illustrator. Again, not the greatest, but he did Hulk for a real long time. And when Hulk's out in space, because, you can only have General Thunderbolt Ross chase you down so many times, the stories really pick up. These are some of my favorites when they do the space stuff. I love the parts when he gets banished. Look at Poachy over there. That's Poach, just sitting over there, not desiring to eat. Alright, well, Poachy, say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say, I'm sorry I didn't eat any food for you. I'm sorry I didn't do anything funny. Maybe we'll do this again. Goodbye.